Afghanistan, also known as the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, is a landlocked nation that lies at the meeting point of Central and South Asia. The region, also known as the Heart of Asia, is bounded by China to the east and northeast, Pakistan to the northeast and east, Iran to the west, Turkmenistan to the northwest, Uzbekistan to the north, Tajikistan to the north, and Pakistan to the east and south. Hello and welcome back to our channel. We currently face a fascinating problem that has piqued the interest of the global community. As we explore the unexpected turn of events around Afghanistan's mind-blowing project that shocked everyone. As we delve into the interesting realm of the makers, we will learn the unique factors that spark these significant initiatives. Join us as we investigate to see if there is more to the tale than simply going on this adventure with us. Don't just watch, subscribe and give us your thoughts on the Chinese mega projects. Continue to discover the reality of this. The nation is mostly mountainous, with 652,864 square kilometers or 252,072 square miles of territory, with lowlands in the north and southwest that are divided by the Hindu Kush mountain range. The capital and largest city of the nation is Kabul. Afghanistan had a population of 40.2 million people in 2021. Government estimates put that number at 32.9 million. Afghanistan has been inhabited since the Middle Paleolithic period, and because of its advantageous location along the historical Silk Road, it has been charmingly referred to as the roundabout of the ancient world. The region, which is often referred to as the Graveyard of Empires, has historically been inhabited by a variety of peoples and has been the scene of numerous military operations, including those by the Persians, Alexander the Great, the Maurya Empire, Arab Muslims, the Mongols, the British, the Soviet Union, and most recently, a US-led coalition. On Afghanistan's economy. The nominal GDP of Afghanistan in 2020 was $20.1 billion, or $81 billion in purchasing power parity or PPP. Its nominal GDP per capita is $611, and PPP GDP per capita is $2,459. It still ranks among the least developed nations in the world, despite possessing mineral resources worth at least $1 trillion. Afghanistan has consistently been among the least developed nations in the modern age, which has been attributed to its difficult physical topography and its status as a landlocked nation. Current violence and political instability have further hindered development in the country. The nation exports mostly fruits and nuts and imports commodities worth over $7 billion, but only imports items worth $784 million. Its external debt is $2.8 billion. The GDP was mostly contributed to by the service sector with 55.9%, then by agriculture with 23%, and industry with 21.1%. What will happen if the world's poorest country receives assistance from a powerful country like China? For such a country, having China on its side is almost like a hope. China has decided to invest $12 billion in Afghanistan, which will cause the country to change for good. In this video, we'll talk about China's $12 billion investment in Afghanistan and consider what the project's future could hold for both nations. Terrorists have long been there in Afghanistan. Let's move on. There hasn't been a single year in the previous 2 decades when Afghanistan could focus on developing itself. Instead, it has continually struggled to exist, and both internal and foreign factors have at various times throughout history contributed to the instability. The impact of terrorism has not only been felt by the country's citizens, but also by its entire economy, wars of cost. However, conflicts have arisen for whatever reason, and the people of Afghanistan have been unable to breathe easily. They simply want to live normal lives. Although Afghanistan has spent over $2 trillion ending the war, the country's leadership has gladly announced that the nation will now enter a time of peace. The administration decided to put an end to the conflict so that the state would enjoy prosperity and security. But when you've been battling instability for a very long time, achieving prosperity is not always easy. When a country's problems force it to focus solely on its defense, its entire industrial base is destroyed. Afghanistan, which was given top priority, only paid attention to local safety and defense. However, now that they have dealt with it, they must concentrate on advancement. Infrastructure is damaged without fostering improvement in all areas. these nations will never be able to compete with the rest of the globe. They lack the information necessary to improve their infrastructure, making it hard to construct high-quality roads or railroads in the nation. On the other side, Afghanistan is rich in oil resources. There are over 1,400 mineral fields in this region, which are home to precious riches including gold, minerals, and natural gas. The problem is that, while possessing many times as many resources as a strong nation, they lack the technology needed to fully use these resources. What can Afghanistan do to help if it ever stops focusing on progress? They're unable to equal them. Without the ability to extract the minerals, they're meaningless. This is most definitely not the case. The only way to protect Afghanistan is via support from other countries. By all means, Afghanistan needs help from countries with the most cutting-edge technology. They need to work with a country that's more advanced than Afghanistan. But there is a problem because many countries have worked with Afghanistan while just using its resources for their own gain. They've gained by utilizing Afghanistan, and these countries have interfered in its political issues, which Afghanistan vehemently rejects since it needs a partner to help it develop. Since the partner must also take care of its own issues, it is not necessary for the partner to be a superpower. Rather, it is necessary for the partner to have a history of successful collaboration. Since China is the only nation now attracting Afghanistan's attention, China has also previously collaborated on projects in Afghanistan. Afghanistan will be extremely fortunate if China agrees to aid in accordance with a deal that China and Afghanistan reached in 2022, whereby China would invest close to $12 billion in Afghanistan. However, Afghanistan now places a higher value on China, which is improving every day, which is why China is improving faster than the United States, which has the greatest economy in the world. The initiative is known as the Anak Copper Mining Project. Although China and Afghanistan have worked together on various mining projects, this one is showing the most attention since it'll last for 25 years and is effectively a long-term oil exploration collaboration between the two countries. China will grant access to its rapid technology for oil mining to Afghanistan. China will extract roughly 80 million barrels of oil from the oil reserves in Afghanistan. For the first 3 years in a row, China will invest $150 million in the project, increasing the total amount committed to as much as $12 billion. The contribution will be made annually and will increase. With so many nations participating in this program, Afghanistan will be able to make a sizable profit from its oil trade, gain a sizable customer base that'll depend on it, and begin forging friendly ties with the rest of the world. This effort will boost Afghanistan's economy and draw a lot of attention to it. Once it really starts exporting oil, the rest of the globe will view Afghanistan as a more reliable country. What China would receive in exchange for its collaboration is the fundamental question that needs to be addressed. Among the firms that supply the items are extremely simple. It was decided to allow China to conduct oil exploration in 3 of Afghanistan's provinces because the country is unable to follow China's example. The oil fields cover a total area of 4,500 square kilometers, and they have the capacity to produce 1,000 tons of oil per day. Therefore, cooperation will be advantageous to both countries equally, but this is not the case. Once the project that has been ongoing for 25 years is finally finished, a plethora of brand new endeavors will get underway. During this interim period, there will still be a large number of projects being worked on. So the question that needs to be addressed is what kind of long-term potential these alliances have and how long will it continue to happen? China is the only country in the world with truly world-class infrastructure. In addition, China's participation in each project would lead to the creation of numerous employment opportunities in Afghanistan and assist the Afghan people in reducing their high unemployment rate. As a result, Afghanistan will profit in many different ways from China's assistance, and thus fall under China's sphere of influence. Conversely, it'll be able to progress the Belt and Road program that it has been working on. As a result, both countries benefit, yet there are drawbacks to any situation. It could be difficult to hunt for a job in Afghanistan given the present situation, which includes China's own issues. Because of the country's lack of security, it is conceivable to argue that terrorism is still an issue in Afghanistan. Additionally, working there entails accepting a high level of risk. Chinese workers who are considering working there should consequently do a thorough safety evaluation before making their choice, just in case something negative happens. The project will be abandoned. If everything goes as planned, this project will help Afghanistan gain recognition on a global scale. But Afghanistan does not want it to happen because China contributes so significantly to the country, and it's unacceptable to jeopardize the safety of Chinese workers. However, one could argue that both countries are committed to working together and have high hopes for the future of their relationship. And if both nations decide to interact openly with one another, nothing can stop them from doing so. Share your thoughts in the comments below and click on the video to learn more about another alarming initiative. The World Bank estimates that by 2018, 98% of rural residents will have access to electricity, up from 28% in 2008. The overall percentage is 98.7%. Despite producing 1,400 megawatts of electricity as of 2016, Afghanistan still imports the majority of its electricity via transmission lines from Iran and the Central Asian countries. Due to the abundance of rivers and streams that originate in the highlands, hydropower accounts for the majority of the generation of electricity. However, power outages sometimes occur, particularly in Kabul, and energy is not always dependable. Solar, biomass, and wind power facilities have all been built more often recently. Today, we've explored inside Afghanistan's mind-blowing project that shocked everyone. We hope this voyage was enjoyable for you. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed and found this video interesting. What do you think about this project? Drop in the comment section. We'd love to hear your thoughts and observations. Thank you for watching and joining us on China Mega Projects. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!